Good evening, children. How do you do? After a long time, again, we start to meet together. Today's lesson is third lesson, Hydrology Cycle. You see, students, today what a correlation. Now this season is for Tamil Nadu, where rainy season, October to November, December, you know that is. This rainy season, this our title is very match. That is, before starting, why we want to be see about hydrologic cycle? We know hydrologic, that means water. This water, where from we get? That is rainfall. This rain, how it is possible? Before seeing that, I want to be join with you. That is one song related to rain. In past, when I was in young age, that I have to be, know that is, rain, rain, go away. Little Johnny was to play, rain, rain, go away. But today, we cannot sing, because those days, there is monthly 3 times rain will cause. But nowadays, we know very well, global warming, some deforestation, human activities, climatic changes, occurrence of rainfall is nowadays very minimum. So, it is a time we want to change the song as like this. In my point of view, we have to be joined together. Rain, rain, come again. All we want to play, we make pleasure and we ready to thank you. That is all and all. So this way we are eagerly expected for what occurrence of rainfall. Now this rain, how it is source of water. Before seeing that is the source of water, why we talk about water is very important. We know that is nearly 2000 years ago, Thiruvalluvar has noted that is one kural for remembrance, Neerindri Amayadu Ulagu. In addition, we know that is Visumbin Tulivilin Allal Pasumbul Talaikanbadaridu. There's a sample, 10 kural is there. In the second part, Adigaram, Once Repu title, you go through that book, Tirukural book. In those days itself, Thiruvalluvar knows about the value of rainfall and water. So, this it tells about this source, how it is possible means by hydrologic cycle. Now, we say few lines. How water is considered as indispensable one. You take for that is introduction, water is indispensable one. How it is indispensable? Earlier classes you know generally, water is useful for washing, bathing, drinking, cooking, industrial purpose, agricultural purpose, etc. But now, modern time, uses of water has been increased in many fields, especially in economic activities. If I say, you people, you know, as young children, enjoy with your parents in holidays, leave day, you have a chance to visit Black Thunder. So the Black Thunder maximum it is depending upon what we say water sports. Usually boating we know that is dance recreation. Here nowadays modern present days the uses of water which enlarge into as what a huge economic activity. And just for example I say as here. If you company level you take means Pepsi, Coca-Cola, all that is depending upon water. Apart from what I say, how it is very essential. Without water, there is no life. Only the earth has this is the possibility. That is why earth we say has a unique planet. This water source, how it is come, where from it is come, what is our conscience towards that resource. So these are the things we are going to see about. Now children, first we talk about the distribution of water, availability of water. On earth, 71% of the earth surface is covered by water. Then 29% is by what we say land. So vast area is covered by water. This from that 71% of water, here we see 97.2% is oceans and seas. That means saline water. Whereas 2.8% is fresh water. From this itself we know the danger of water scarcity, because only minimum quantity is available in the earth as water, fresh water. In this 2.8%, 2.2 is surface water. Then we say 0.6% is water, it is groundwater, available as groundwater. Then we see that is in the 2.2% surface water, it is available in different way in the form of glaciers. That is 0.1% as water, glaciers and ice form. Then we see that is 2.2%, 2.15%, 0.1% lakes, streams. Then 0.4% other forms. Other forms means water, humidity, and water bearing plants and animals. What it possesses this. So this is a strategical point how that is surface water, the 2.2 is available in different form. That is 2.15% in the form of glaciers and ice, 0.1% it is found in lakes and streams, and 0.4% in the form of water vapor and plants and animals form. Then out of 0.6% of groundwater, that is 0.25 is only extracted. Extracted means obtained. That is from what we say groundwater by using modern technology. See, here we want to say modern technology. Nowadays, human being, in the name of obtaining the water, they are not at all extra. I want to say they are sucking the water. You know the difference between extraction and sucking. Mosquitoes, blood sucking animals only it will do. But human, what we are doing as need, which has to be increased, we are sucking the water from the earth. What would happen? That is why nowadays we are facing a scarcity. Okay, next students, we are going to see about this hydrologic cycle. This statistical point, once again, you take it as match the following. First, all the number you write it as one side. 71%, 29%, then 97.2. First, all the numbers in one list. On the opposite, this is forward. This is forward. If you list out, you can able to remember percentage number as well as this percentage is for what. whether it is fresh water or saline water or surface water or groundwater, how much percentage glaciers, that you have to be clear about it. This is one idea I give to you how to revise that. Next topic, how they obtain that is this statistical point. There is a science that is called hydrology. What is called hydrology? It is a science, the study of science of occurrence, distribution, characteristics and its nature of water which is present on the earth is called as what? Hydrology. Hydro, water, logy, that is study. The study about water. Study means what about occurrence, distribution, nature and properties of the water available on the earth's surface. But the presence of water is not uniform in all places. It is differ from place to place and time to time. That we see later that how it is. Now next, this water, how we obtain, how it is coming as water, rainfall. That is, we say important thing, hydrologic cycle. Hydrologic cycle. To explain that, I show you this picture. You come to understand this. You notice children, one time, how that is. This is the hydrologic cycle. Now I explain, after noticing that, now you come to here. Hydrologic cycle is a process, that is sun-driven process of, that is transporting of water to atmosphere, atmosphere to land, again from land back to water, oceans and seas, then ocean seas to atmosphere. This cycle is called water cycle, hydrological cycle, or otherwise we say water cycle. Again one time say, what is hydrologic cycle means? Transportation or carrying of water from ocean seas to atmosphere, atmosphere to that is land, from land back to ocean and sea. This is what a repeated process. That is why we say water is a renewable resource. Even though it is a renewable resource, we have to be very cautious, because whatever it is cyclic process, that process it has to be occurred in correct way, correct proportion, correct time, without any modification in the nature. Okay, it would be correct. But we know the developmental process, the some way, certain angle, the cycle has to be disturbed. Okay, seeing that is our information I say. Now we see this hydrologic cycle, how it is responsible for occurrence of water or in the form of rainfall. Now we see next one. This hydrologic cycle is contain three phases and 6 components. What are the 3 phases? 3 phases are we say evapotranspiration. Evapotranspiration. I say what is this later. First 3 phases heading you remember. Evapotranspiration. Second one we say as what? Precipitation. Third one, runoff. R-U-N, runoff. Then what are the 6 components of water cycle? Why say these 6 components only essential for this hydrological cycle. Now 6 components. 1, evapotranspiration. Second, precipitation. Third, condensation. Fourth, infiltration. Five, percolation. Six, runoff. Now these 6 components we are going to see one by one. What is evapotranspiration, precipitation, condensation, infiltration, percolation, runoff. Students, in the 6 components, first one we say evapotranspiration. What is called evapotranspiration? Usually, evaporation. Evaporation takes place from the surface water, ocean, lakes, seas, etc. Transpiration takes place from the words from the leaves of the plants. So, here evaporation and transpiration. Evaporation, transpiration. It occurs on the surface water. It is occur in surface water. Transpiration occurs in plants. But why I joining here? Evaporation, if occur in surface water, we can see clearly. Transpiration occurs plants separately, okay, we see. But some places, what places? In crop area, in agricultural field, forest area, there it is very difficult to determine evaporation and transpiration separately. So such type of places, the total loss of water what we occurred is called as what? Evapotranspiration. This is where in crop area especially, crop area we find such type of loss of water. Because in the crop area, it is difficult to assess evaporation and transpiration separately. Evaporation where it occurs? Surface water. With the help of temperature, that is I say sun-driven process. Transpiration is where? That is leaves of the plants. So as a result, in cropped area, the total loss of water, how much is occur, that is referred as what? Evapotranspiration, because this evaporator water is also responsible for water cycle. Second we come for, here in the through evapotranspiration, one statistical point I want to be saying, 90% of moisture in the atmosphere is by evaporation. Only 10% only by transpiration. In the atmospheric moisture, 90% from where? By evaporation. Only 10% it is reached the atmosphere by transpiration. Now second one we see evaporation. What is called evaporation? This term already familiar, even though it is a discussion, I say. It is a process of conversion of or transportation of from liquid stage to gaseous stage is called evaporation. Liquid form to liquid stage to gaseous stage. This stage is called evaporation. Which one is the prime factor? Prime element means temperature. The temperature is the prime element. It is the prime element. Or we say as what? A factor. Do you think only the temperature is enough for that evaporation? Means apart from temperature, other factors also essential. That is what means area. Second we say humidity. Then wind. These are essential. Area. If area is vast area, evaporation takes place more. Humidity has what high evaporation is reduces because chillness. Then wind starts blow heavily. So that time evaporation takes place speedily. Our temperature increases, area is vast, the humidity is less, and wind blow fast. In this occasion, evaporation takes place more. In this evaporation cycle is we say as what closed one. We know because it would again come to as what condensation. The third one, condensation. What is called condensation? This is we say definition. Condensation. It is a reverse process, opposite to evaporation. Evaporation, what I say, liquid to gaseous. Now this is from gaseous state to liquid form. Gaseous state to liquid form is called condensation. This condensation, why it is helpful? Evaporation, which helps to water, raising of gas to atmosphere, reaching the atmosphere. Condensation, it is helpful for formation of clouds. These droplets, the condensation nuclei, which forms as what? Clouds. So this condensation process, which helps for the source or root for what we say rainfall, or that is rivers and streams. This condensation is not only occurred in atmosphere, it is also happened in earth surface. What are the other forms of condensations? Forms of condensation. Now take down few questions. That is already I say percentage mass of following I say. Now what is called hydrologic cycle or water cycle? Then second one we say as what are the three phases of hydrologic cycle? 6 components of hydrologic cycle. Then define evaporation. What are the factors which is essential for evaporation? Next we see condensation. What is called condensation? The process of conversion of gaseous form to, that is water vapor, into liquid, that is water droplets, is called as what? Condensation. Very first it forms as what? Rainy clouds. Then further it is cool. It cool according to the temperature variation. It causes that I say in the following under that is forms of condensation. What are the forms of condensation? Now one we say first one dew. See, usually children hearing this word, naturally everyone we are enjoying to see that is droplets which are found on the tip of that is grass or leaves or any other object. We are enjoying see that is bubble like shape. It is very pure white, glassy look. But that time, in that age, not we think how this dew is formed, what is dew. Now I say, dew is a tiny water droplets which is formed when the water vapor is come into contact on the cold surface. Is called as what is dew. Again one time I say, it is a tiny water droplet when the water vapor come to contact on the cold surface. When it is the surface is experienced below dew point, the temperature is experienced below dew point, there dew water droplets formed tiny on the cold surface. So this is what we call dew. It is by what? Condensation. Second thing we say as what? Frost. It is tiny water droplets. First, usually refrigerator, if you open means inside the box, you can see the ice crystals. How it is formed when the temperature is lower below the freezing point. The water vapor, that is gaseous form, when it come into contact into cold surface, it freezes, which form into water frost. This is also what we say, that is ice crystals. Ice crystals. When that is water droplets, it is reaching the cold surface, the temperature there is below freezing point. So that time it is changed into ice crystals, that is we said as frost. It is also by condensation. Then third we say as fog. What is called fog? It is also tiny water droplets suspending from the air. That is, it creates poor visibility. Averagely 100 meters distance, it is not easy to see the opposite what is there. Then some aviation purpose, the criteria is about 1,000 meters. So the fog is what means dense, more dense. It is the suspended water droplets, tiny suspended, tiny water droplets. It is more dense. So it is invisible one, invisible state. The next one we say after the fog, we see mist. What is mist? It is also tiny water droplets hanging from the air, which has what make it as what visible form. Previous fog I say invisible form, but it is changed as what we say crystals. So it has what we say transparent form. So it is called as what a mist. Again, what is mist means? It is less dense than the fog. It is visible one. It is tiny water droplets hanging from the air. Tiny water droplets. Water droplets hanging in the air. So in the hanging in the air, but it is what is less dense than the fog. Now here another one form of condensation, clouds. What is called clouds? It is also tiny water droplet, but all places I am saying tiny water droplet like that. But the minute difference you want to be know, that is here clouds is tiny means how much tiny? Very so small, and also light in weight, very light. For example, size of the droplet, it is ranging from 2 mm to, that is 100 mm. What is mm? Millimicron. You know, 1 micron is equal to 0.001 millimeter. So the clouds which range from, that is water droplets, the size vary from 2 mm to 100 mm. Sometimes the size is beyond, more than the 100 mm, it becomes as what we say raindrop. But now here we are seeing as what a clouds. In the clouds is what means the water, tiny water droplets which are so small, light in weight, the size ranging from 2 mm to 100 mm is called clouds. Then these are what we say 5 form of condensation. We know 7th standard you know about the clouds. Even night time, evening time, even daytime too, you can enjoy, see the sky. There is different designs, but we name it as elephant shape, cat shape, or that is lion shape, According to your imagination, you have to be named. But here scientifically, 6 form of clouds. In 7th book, you come to know, one time go and revise, that is stratus clouds, nimbus clouds, like that we know that is. Then this is what clouds. Again, what are the forms of condensation? Means dew, frost, fog, mist, clouds. Here students, you want to be know this area like a distinguish. What is the difference between dew and frost, or frost and fog, or fog and mist, or what is the difference between mist and clouds, or sometimes clouds and rain, it will come later. So this area, you make it as while you are studying, like a distinguished form means this difference between these heading, you can get it clear. Then children, what is called precipitation? Occurrence of water, rainfall in all forms from sky to earth is called precipitation. Precipitation, it is usually we say rain, but the rain, your mind we think of only the water, but sometimes depending upon that is weather, climate, region, it may be vary from other forms. I say what are the other forms of precipitation. First you take, that is what is precipitation. Precipitation is occurrence of all forms of water droplets is causing from sky to earth surface is called precipitation. This precipitation is depending upon what we say region. I told you. See, in the polar region generally it happen in snowfall. Warmer region it common we seen that is in rainfall or drizzle. See, where we find rainfall and drizzle, warmer region. In cold region, polar region, we find experience as snowfall, maximum snowfall we say. Here we see again precipitation. What is precipitation means occurrence of all forms of water droplets or rain is called precipitation. Now we see forms of precipitation. What are the forms means? Number 1 I say rain. Second, sleet. Third, freezing rain. Fourth, hailstone. 5, snowfall. Condensation also 5 form. Precipitation also 5 form. Now we see, let us see one by one. What is called rain? The droplets, tiny droplets which fall from the atmosphere to earth surface is called rain. Again here you want to be, because often I say water droplets, it definitely gives you confusion. So that is the difference, size you want to be remember. The rain water droplet size is 0.5. It is greater than means it is called rain. It is less than, that is 0.5, that is called drizzle. Less than 0.5, it is called drizzle. What is called drizzle? Based on the size you can define rain and drizzle. If greater, larger than 0.5 mm is called rain. It is 0. lesser than 0.5, that is called drizzle. Sometimes when rainfall before coming arrival heavier, you can see that is drizzling of rain. So this is depending upon the size. Then sleet. What is called sleet? It is a mixture of ice crystals and water droplets is called sleet. Why sometimes it happen a mixture of ice crystal means when the water droplets is passed through the air, there the temperature sometimes is recorded below 0 degrees Celsius. So the water droplets is suddenly as what we say cools. So which causes what we say both water droplets and crystals. So this occasion of rainfall is called as what? Sleet. Then freezing rain. Freezing rain is what? Water droplets do not cool in the air, but very immediately it touch that is surface. There the temperature is very low. Very immediately, rapidly it cools down and it started to freeze. These pictures I show you later. This is what we call the freezing rain. It do not freeze in the air, but immediately rapidly cools when it is contact the cold surface where the temperature is very low. So this is called a freezing rain. In low temperature, when it is contact, it is called a freezing rain. Then what is called a hailstones? Usually round pellets of ice crystals. Ice crystals are called hailstones. Hailstones, this is also very enjoyable scene. When the heavy rain comes, that time we come to see about the dropping of ice balls. Usually we are playing to collect the hailstones. Our ancestors say it would cure for some snake bite also. Naturally it is considered as what maintain. They will collect and store in their house. But we people, we are for enjoyment purpose, we started to collect. But some places it is danger. It's a small size means okay. When huge size, the size means here I say is larger than 5 mm. How it is formed? The water droplets, how it become this much large size? In the atmosphere, in the clouds, in the cold, inside the cold region of the clouds, these are water condensed and to form what we say this much of huge size up drafts of the cloud which hold that is in the atmosphere. Then it is comes down as what as hailstone. So this is what we say another form of precipitation. Usually it is not occur as 1 or 2. It is sometimes it is poured like a rainfall some places. That is why it is coming under one form of precipitation. Then snowfall. Snowfall is for here also. It is due to low temperature. The water droplets in the clouds, it is condensed rapidly and pour it as what powdery moss ice crystals. Powdery moss ice crystals. Especially for remembrance, I say Norway, Sweden, in polar region, mountain region, you can experience such type of snowfall. It poured like a rainfall. Even some English film also you can see that is the snowfall occurrence like a rainfall. Again, snowfall is powdery mass of ice crystals. Ice crystal is called a snowfall. Again students, to remember what is rain, it is tiny water droplets is larger than 0.5 mm. Sleet is what a mixture of water droplets and ice crystals. Freezing rain is water, it do not cool in the air. When it touches the cool surface, very immediately it starts to freeze. So that is called freezing rain. Hailstone is the size of the water droplets is larger than 5 mm. It happens in the cold interior part of cold region of the clouds in the atmosphere. Then it is started to pour when the time comes on the occasion. Then usually it is experienced in cumulonimbus clouds. This sleep is occurring in stratus clouds. Already I say 7th book, 6 types of clouds. In the stratus clouds, if you see, means clear sky, sponge, cotton balls like clouds you can see that is. That time, this sleep type of rainfall, precipitation occur. Cumulonimbus clouds, we say, dark rainy cloud. Seems to be sometimes evening, devil-like. So such type of the cumulo, usually it is dangerous clouds because it causes what we say heavy rainfall. So this is what we say different forms of precipitation. Next topic, students, infiltration. Before seeing infiltration, take down in your note, you write and come tomorrow as answers. What is called rain, how slit is formed, what is called facing rain, then what is called hailstones. See how the snowfall occur. These questions, if you find the answer, you would clear about. Now, next component of hydrologic cycle is infiltration. The word itself, infiltration. A portion of the rainwater, which is soaks in the soil, that is subsoil, which helps for the plants and some animals to survive. Usually the soil becomes wet. Just we are seeing as usual incident. But how naturally each and every function as life-oriented and that is world-oriented, survival-oriented means this it tells. The infiltration of water in the subsoil which helps the plants roots to absorb water and also some animals for earthworms like animals to that is survive. So this infiltration is helpful for another one thing also. It would be helpful for surface runoff water. Two things. One for survival of plants and animals which are under. Second one we say surface runoff, subsurface runoff water. Then this infiltration is depends on precipitation is also depends upon temperature, humidity like that. Condensation also depends upon temperature, humidity and the area so on. Here we say as what infiltration is depends upon soil, nature of the soil, characteristics of the soil, amount of that is rainfall occurs and how much it has what we say flow. It is depending upon we assess that is infiltration. Next one we say about percolation. What is called percolation? Usually we use this term generally for two purposes because both are what we say entering the water into earth's surface. But a minor difference. The water is soaked in the soil, that is which it can brings back again in the form of what we say springs. In the form of springs and low sparks in the hills, which can bring back. But percolation is when it is reached that is underground, it cannot come back, but we can obtain by using some technology. This percolation, what is called percolation? Percolation is movement of infiltrated water through the soil profile. That is movement of water. Infiltrated water, because however I say infiltrated means a portion of rainwater, it soaks in the soil. Here what we say, the movement of infiltrated water through the soil profile. Here soil profile also, you know, first second lesson, that is soil lesson, another lesson. First humus, like that you remember, that is one column. It is soil profile. Soil profile means it is called humus. Second one we say as what? Topsoil. Topsoil. Third one we say gravels and rocks. These are what we say rock layer. This is bedrock. Last one, bedrock. This is called soil profile. The infiltrated water moves through the soil profile. When it is reached this area, it never do as water move. That means I say unsaturated to saturated area, the water is moves. It is called percolation. Unsaturated to saturated area. Either if it goes, that is it cannot goes, or saturated behind that water level will come. So that is we say as what percolation. This percolation, why we want to talk, it is helpful for, that is storage of water. When we face a shortage, that time we can dig wells, bore wells, we can obtain. So for that it is acted like a godown. In the godown granary, how the grains are stored, like in naturally, the God has given the gift to hide the water from the human being in some place, that what we call aquifers. What is called aquifers? Aquifers means water-bearing strata under the rock layers is called aquifers. This is helpful for availability of water. We can bring back that water later period. Say next we say infiltration, percolation component. Last topic we are coming to see runoff. What is called runoff? Usually children we are saying running in sports run. But here what we say, once the rainfall comes, water starts to flow, that is called runoff. But here, is it all the time whenever the rain comes, is it possible to run off? Do you notice means no. If mild rain comes, we see that area just it is wet. Where there is heavy rain in longer period, then only you notice your street, the rainfall is what we say, it is flows on the street. Here in the definition I say, the flow of water, rainwater, and the excess of infiltrated water, which is flow and join immediately to the streams, rivers, oceans and seas is called a runoff. That is joins with the streams immediately after the rainfall. When it is happen, when heavier or longer period, if the rain occurs, this runoff would happen. Why we want to talk about runoff? This also, what already these terms are very small terms, easy term, what flows, what just we notice and we are passing, we are concentrating our life. But naturally this runoff, how it is helpful means it would possible for hydrologic cycle. Very first I say how that is source for cause of rainfall, water source. This runoff is essential. Why isn't it? If the water is not run, there is no possibility of rivers, lakes, oceans, seas, and evaporation is not possible. The cycle would be disturbed. So runoff is essential for hydrologic cycle. Then also it would be helpful for groundwater. When there is water needed, we can obtain. So that is why we are talking about runoff. Then we say, depending upon occurrence of rainfall and the nature of that is rainfall, we have to be classified into three types of runoff. One is we say surface runoff. Surface runoff. Second one, subsurface. Subsurface runoff. And third one, base flow. Now what is called surface runoff? When the rainfall comes very heavier and longer period, excess of water, infiltrated water, and flow like a stream joins in the river. If I say this is the surface, if the rainfall comes, it flows and joins the streams or lakes, ocean. It is called surface runoff. Subsurface runoff, what it means? Below the surface. But this water flows laterally along what we say surface, but it won't join with the river or any lake. It flows laterally, subsurface. So that is why we say as what is subsurface runoff. The subsurface runoff, why it is essential? It is essential for sometimes it would coming as what we say springs and what we say storage of aquifers. So that is why we are talking about subsurface runoff. Then what is called base flow? The base flow is occurred when that is water channel is low. Elevation is water channel low than that of that is water surface. So that time the water is what we say flow from saturated area to water channel. The elevation of water channel is low than that of the water body. So that time this water is flow from, for understanding I say, sometimes deep well, side walls, you can see the water is what we say coming as very mildly like a stream. Even some places, river area, pond area, one area you can see a stream like water is what is seep from. That is how means the elevation is lower. So that is why the saturated groundwater, it is start to flows from lower area. So this is called as what a base flow. Children, now you take some question. Here, what is called infiltration? Here to this two take it as a distinguish between. Then only you clear the difference. What is called infiltration? What is called percolation? Infiltration just soak into the soil, other subsurface soil. Percolation is through the soil profile, reach that is bedrock. Here this is two types. One we say survival for plants and animals, and also it would be helpful for what is storing. Then percolation is for what? It is helpful for what we say underground water. Then we say as what is called runoff. When the rainfall is occurred heavier in longer period, the portion of the rainfall flows over the surface due to gravity. We know that is pull of water by gravity laterally along the surface, or we say across the surface, is called runoff. It is divided into three. One is surface runoff, subsurface runoff, and we say base flow. So now I come to conclusion, students. Again, what are the different forms of components of hydrologic cycle? Means 6 components. One, I say evapotranspiration. It is found in crop area. Second one we see that is evaporation, the process of conversion of liquid form to gaseous form by temperature, that is we say as what due to other factors too. Second one we say, the third one, condensation. Condensation is what? Opposite to evaporation. That is conversion or a transformation of that is gaseous form to liquid form is called condensation. What are the different forms of condensation? 5. Dew, frost, fog, mist, clouds. These 5 you want to be see, and minute difference. Each line, one keyword is there, that underline, you make it as like a distinguish. Then precipitation. What is called precipitation and what are the forms of precipitation? Then another component, infiltration, percolation, runoff, so on. Then some terms here, children, generally. What is called potable water? P-O-T-A, potable water. Terms. The terms you want to be know. What is called potable water? The water which is good enough to drink is called potable water. Actually we say the water, seeing the POT, we think about water keep in the pot, that we say, but it is not like that. It is water, the water which is good enough to drink. Why they are telling us like that? Means nowadays, a lot of pollution. See, many places polluted water. See, all the water, even it is fresh water, is it possible to drink well enough? Means not. So that is why this word you want to be remember, potable water. Then already I told you, aquifer. Aquifer. What is called aquifer means water bearing strata under the rock layers. It is called aquifer. Then hydrologic cycle. Then apart from already I given you 2 mark questions, you remember. Then last, but through this lesson in a life oriented, what students we are going to learn about. That is again I remember you one Quran. As the end of this lesson, one moral through this, we know all as usual, it is our duty to conserve the water source, water bodies, and also remember how much the water is very essential in our life. Means one, it reveals Danam Tavam Irandam Tanga Vienulagam Banam Varangadini. Danam, Danam Tavam. It is our part of life. It is not occurred if it is the sky not for rainfall. No rainfall, no life. No life, there is no world. So, that is a part of life. Life meaning these two. These two are not happen, then how it is? Like that, one more children, I give you like a assignment, 3 things. You English Tirukural book you take, all that 10 Tamil Tirukural, opposite write Tamil Tirukural, opposite write in English. Or you write first English, then you write as per your wish. That you come to know how it is. I give you, whether you listen or not, I don't know. you memorize. Possible means all the Quran you have to be time permit memorize that is. Then you come to know wherever you see the tap or that is water, wastage of water, immediately your concise would ring a bell. So we have to be little bit contribute for, to save the water. And another one assignment I give to you, proverb. See how to save the water, how to respect that is rainfall. See how you are enjoy that is due forms of rainfall, condensation I say is right. Regarding that proverb or in the poem, Kavidai we say, in your imagination when you observe the dew or snow, what your imagination write like a poem. One I say in my remembrance, one proverb, little drops of water makes a ocean. Siru tuli peruvallam we say. So like that here we say, and the water, saving the water we say as what? Mare neer, weir neer. Because without rain, no water. If no water means no soul. Not only us, all living things. So that is we say one or two proverbs I say, and you sit and write in your note, kavidai or proverb, or some like a song, you know, some singing song also is there. Malaye, malaye, vilum malaye. So many songs are there. Not at present I not be remember. You have to be enjoy. Then another one assignment is clouds, different types of clouds. You take a cotton sponge, that is chalk, and you prepare that is different forms of clouds that is available in 7th book. Then you come to know about the forms of clouds. Thank you children. We know everyone we are enjoying the rain, chillness. It is very essential to our life. Children, hydrology we say is what is hydrology? They are science which deals usually construction time. We call that is a man who has experienced to assess the water in the ground. Then we are start to borewell construction we started. Do you think all they are very expert? They only know that is where is water available. But this type of statistical point who give means the persons, those who carry out as a study. You know, universities, this kind of course is there. You don't be think only the engineering daughters only is there. Here, hydrology also different courses are there. That is statistical point. You observe this chart and make this statistical point. What are the forms the water is available, how much is present, that you come to assess children. And again we say as here, fresh water, how much it is already written in the blackboard. In your one time for as a picture you have to be noticed. Thank you children.